Welcome to Stukin Expert Sessions. The presentation will begin shortly.
Hi there, I'm Laura Conway. I'm the Senior Marketing Manager at a upstart company called Reveal Mobile. We deal in privacy compliant location data that is pulled from your phone. And we have a software that helps marketers use geofencing technology to better target their consumers. Most of our customers are agencies that help their clients by using geofencing to drive foot traffic to their locations. So I'm going to dive in and show you guys how that works. So location data is here, it's arrived, and it's still on the rise. So here's a couple of statistics to show you how marketers use location data right now. So 89% of marketers use location in their campaigns. Now that's everything from geo-targeting the entire US in Google ads down to the nitty-gritty that we're going to talk about today, which is intent based on where people have been. More than 60% of marketers use location to drive personalization, which makes perfect sense because if you are located in Texas and you're getting an ad for a gym that's in Maine, it's not very pertinent to you, so you wouldn't pay attention and you would be confused. We're very used to brands understanding our needs and where we are at this point. And investment in the field is growing by almost $40 billion, or that's how much it will be. The investment in the industry will be about $40 billion by 2023. And just to put that number in perspective, about $40 billion is what brands spend in Facebook advertising today. So that is a significant number for sure. Here's a 1, 2, 3 view about how the data flows, at least at Reveal Mobile, but it's a pretty good view into how this geofencing technology works. First, we ingest privacy compliant data. We dedupe and clean up the data, make sure everything is perfect there. And then we place match, which means that we have geo frames around all of the buildings in the US, and we match the location data from the mobile devices to the businesses in the US in order to power, as you can see on the right, analytics, audiences, and then attribution. So who uses this geofencing marketing and proximity marketing? They're agencies, they're retailers, they're brands, as well as media companies. And media companies are those that sell, out of home placements. So Lamar and Clear Channel, the big billboards that you see on the side of the road, or when you see a big ad on the side of a bus, that's also going to be a media company that's buying and selling that space. The best types of businesses that use geofencing marketing have multiple locations. So that's restaurants and bars and auto dealerships. Also those that run seasonal or special events. So pop-ups or concerts, major sporting events. Or that want to prove attribution value. So that would be the media companies as well as out-of-home streaming, so like Pandora and Spotify. That's also running media on their ads. And then out-of-home, as I mentioned, with buses and billboards. The 3 segments to geo-target that we always talk about are retargeting your current customers, since we all know that those are the cheapest and most loyal that you can have. So definitely worth retargeting the current customers that you have. You also want to target the people who are going to your competitors in order to win market share and share of wallet. And then to acquire net new customers. So this would be to reach people that would have an affinity for your product, not necessarily who visit locations that are competitive to you. But my favorite example is if you're Lululemon, of course, you'd want to geo-target, Athleta stores who also sell similar gym apparel, but you can also geo-target those who visit Planet Fitness or Orange Theory, people who would wear your products. So that's what I mean by not your current customers necessarily, not your competitors, but those who would have an affinity for your product. So bringing this concept all together into a real world example here would be with Roundtable Pizza. We're going to use geo-targeting and geo-conquesting, which is the word we use for geo-targeting your competitors, in a Facebook campaign, and we're going to watch how that works itself out. So using some of the location data, the mobile location data from your phone, we can see some foot traffic analytics on the right here. So it looks like foot traffic is down, but people do live near the location that they visit. They do have pretty good return visits because 46% of the people who visited in the last 30 days have visited more than once. So their pizza must be a little bit addicting. But then in the bottom corner, you can see that foot traffic to their competitors is actually up, while Roundtable's pizza foot traffic is down. So you can see Pizza Hut, Little Caesars, Fuddruckers, and Catherine's all have positive foot traffic trends. So it's time to innovate and look for some new ways to get some new customers. So in order to build a custom audience through geofencing, geotargeting, and through the mobile device IDs, we're going to retarget our Roundtable pizza shoppers, of course, those who already love the brand. And then we're going to geoconquest visitors to Pizza Hut, to Fuddruckers, and then also to Bricks, which is another similar pizza chain. Those match rates are real rates. So what we did was we pulled the devices for the last 90 days that have visited these locations, and then we pushed them into Facebook to see what the match rate would be. And that is important because not everybody who visits a location is going to have a Facebook or an Instagram account. So it's important to see what the rate is there. But these are really good, especially because industry average is about 40 to 60%. And then once you've uploaded your audience onto Facebook, in order to set the placement for Instagram, you just upload your custom audience. This is some back-end features that you can see on your screen from the Facebook Ads Manager. Here we're going to select to be in Instagram Stories and Instagram Reels. And then you run your ad. So this is what a typical Facebook or Instagram ad looks like, as I'm sure you're very familiar with. You know, there's the copy that's very eye-catching and really gets directly to the point of what you're trying to sell. You've got a headline, you've got a call to action right here. They use Shop Now. So here we're using the ad type of conversion, the call to action, the CTA is Shop Now. And then to measure attribution, which is your return on ad spend, essentially, we're going to use the foot traffic analytics on the next slide. So for foot traffic attribution, that means we're going to take the audience that we served our ad to and put it back into this platform to see how many of those that were in the audience showed back up into one of the Roundtable Pizza restaurants. And in this case, it looks like the campaign's only been running for about 3 weeks, as you can see in that top line, how it's flat at the bottom just because the campaign's not over quite yet. But you can see I called it out on the side there, 72,000 conversions. So that means that 72,000 of those almost 1 million devices that we uploaded into Facebook have come back to Roundtable Pizza. So if you multiply that by the average check size of about $35, that's $2.5 million worth of pizza, which is really great to share with your stakeholders, whether that's, you know, the VP of marketing or your CEO or your ops team, anybody who needs to know how, you know, to make sure that the marketing campaigns that you're running are profitable. And all of this is possible through the mobile location data and through geofencing or proximity marketing.